Hey there, I'm Bob Ross, and I am a guitarist who focuses primarily in the style of jazz. My background in music started with the trumpet at age 11, and I continued playing that for 7 to 8 years. And around the age of 14, though, I started to pick up guitar primarily because a friend of mine was playing guitar, and also somewhat due to the fact that I was listening to guitar players such as Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix. I was listening to Led Zeppelin, also some heavy metal groups, Metallica, Megadeth, and from there I discovered people like Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, and several other of those instrumental players. And at that point, I started to take on this challenge of trying to figure out the guitar, primarily on my own. I didn't have a teacher in the beginning, so it was mainly me listening to recordings and watching videotapes and trying to figure out how to imitate these guys. My college education started at Morehead State University, at Morehead State University in Kentucky. I started to get into jazz music because that's what I was there to study. In the beginning, I really wasn't a big fan of the jazz style, but I pushed myself into really trying to understand it because it was something that I had a difficult time executing on the guitar. It was very much different than the rock style that I was used to. After undergrad at Morehead State University, I then went to the University of the Arts in Philadelphia, where my study for jazz became even more intense, and I had the great opportunity to perform with a lot of the students there. Great musicians abound, and also that gave me the opportunity to see other jazz musicians in that area, people that I've only at that time had only heard of. Examples being Mike Stern, Chris Potter, Adam Rogers, Donnie McCaslin, Ben Monder, Sonny Rollins. I got to see Joe Lovano, Christian McBride. I got to see so many great musicians, and the music scene there, combined with seeing my peers really pushing to further their abilities in this style of music, really pushed me to take a step further and become really dedicated to this music. As far as teaching, my teaching style is based on a student-to-student priority, pretty much to whatever the student needs from me in order to help them. I look at it as being, in some respects, like a student comes in and there's an issue that needs to be addressed, and I'm there to give what needs to be given to remedy those situations that cause troubles for the students. And part of the overall process in my teaching is to equip the students with the ability to go out, even if they don't want to pursue music as a full-time career, they at least would have the ability to accommodate the situations that they might find themselves in. So the elements that I usually focus on would be music reading, learning at least the basic chords, and then going beyond that, depending on their interest, the style of music, or what a situation might call for. Learning scales, learning songs, that way they can actually go out and play as opposed to just running exercises or scales. And then also, and the scales also include arpeggios and whatnot. And then also working on improvisation, because you never know when you're going to have that opportunity to play with someone and then they might say, hey, why don't you take a solo on this? And these elements that I teach are based on the experiences that I've had in my experience as a professional musician. Currently, I'm teaching at Mount St. Joseph University. I'm an adjunct guitar professor there, as well as the Westchester Academy of Music, Tebman School of Music, and I also offer Skype lessons as well as online lessons through musiclessons.com. Besides teaching, I also am very active in performing, and I usually perform under my own name in a variety of settings, whether it be a duo, a trio, a quartet. Those are usually the configurations of the groups that I play in. I currently have 2 albums out. One is called Arriving. That was my first one, released in 2013. And then recently I put out a live album called the Bob Ross Quartet Live. My overall goal in pursuing music is to communicate with others. I set that goal when I was around the age of 15. I felt that music was the way that I could bridge the gap between myself and those that surround me. And one of the big surprises that I have found is that I have been able to communicate to others with my music far beyond what I could have imagined when I was 15. Because of technology, I've been able to reach out to people all over the world and get responses back from people talking about, reaching out to me, saying how much they enjoy listening to the music that I've created. And that to me has been a major step in reaching that goal that I had set about 17 years ago now. The main way that I would say that you could find me is to go to my website at www.bobrossguitar.com. You can reach out to me on my website, and you can also find links to the music that I released and to my Facebook page as well as my Twitter page.